So let's get started. What's all the fuss about? You know, how and why has the internet become so important to retailers? Well, the story starts here. It starts on the high street. It's still where the majority of retailing takes place in the UK. This happens to be Chester, but it could be any high street location. And of course, the high street's come under a bit of a battering over the last 12, 18 months. There have been stories of business failures. Obviously, there's empty shops in certain places. And obviously, there have been some fairly high-profile failures throughout that time. But, you know, we may live in times when there's great technological changes and structural changes in business and retail. But this isn't the first time this has happened. If you go back in history, there are periods of great change. The Industrial Revolution was running at full pace in the early 1800s. And during that time, people felt hugely threatened by these changes, these structural changes that were taking place in their business practices and their working practices. And in fact, Christmas Day isn't even immune now to online retail. And last year, 2008, Christmas Day, 3.8 million people shopped online, spending around about £103 million. So even Christmas Day isn't immune to online retail. So the idea that we're all sitting at home watching the TV and eating our turkey, it's not true. We're actually sitting in front of computers shopping on Christmas Day.
Well, you know, obviously, if you're not going to come up as a result of someone keying in your products and services in there, you're not going to be even in the game. You're not going to even be part of the shortlist that's going to be considered for those people researching and purchasing online. So how do we get started? Let's get back to fundamentals. It's all about customers or consumers with money. It's all about giving them that great retail experience that we've all been talking about and then paying you in cash or credit card. That's fundamentally all about it. It's pure business. No difference to that really at all. And it's separating the E-bit, the electronic, the technology bit from the commerce. You're good commercial retail operators. You're still here after trying 6 months or so you know what you're doing, and it's getting that focus going again. So if you're looking at a business specification for either creating or updating a business e-commerce website, I'm suggesting that's roughly what you want. It is something that's easy for you to handle, so you're not distracted from the day-to-day running of your business. Something that's easy for the consumers to handle, so that they can very easily buy your product. And something that keeps up to date, because, as Nick was saying, the world of internet is still changing. It's not a mature market yet, and things are still happening. Things are still going on. So that's the important part of those two things. The other two are a given. And it's got to be up to date. Now, tomorrow, the day after, and you think, yes, where are we going with that? So you've got to look for a process and a partnership with whoever's going to be your internet operator to make sure that they keep pace with those changes so you don't fall behind. Okay, let's get on to your side of the business. You've got to have product. You've got to have something that people are willing to buy. The web is not a holy grail for selling things that people don't want. Even eBay doesn't sell things like that. You've got to have an idea of who you're marketing that for, so your target audience. It's the whole planet if you want it to be, but I suggest you need to break it down in bite-sized pieces. Is it age? Is it social status? Is it disposable income? You find out who it is, what niche products you've got, who actually comes and does the buying, and that will help your online e-commerce operator help tailor your site and the marketing online and the way that you appear in Google to be attractive to that particular sector. Yes, price has got to be there. It's got to be competitive, but as Nick has been saying before, it isn't the only issue. And finally, it's got to get there. It's not like a retail store where they walk out the shop, happy puppies, with their products in a bag. You've actually got to get it to their door on the right day, to the right door, in the right packaging. Things to watch out for on e-commerce websites, so our frequently asked questions. Stock availability. How are you going to run the website stock? Is it going to be like a separate retail store, or are you sharing the stock with your offline retail outlet or outlets? You need to make sure that you're not going to run out of stock online and missing sales because you've got them in the store. So synchronizing that stock or looking at how you keep up to date with that stock. And again, technology can help you when you're running down to a known low level. The website should tell you or whoever's managing the stock, that's the last 2 in stock, that's the last 1 in stock. So again, you're prompted using the technology for things it does well to let you know business decisions. Lots of people don't actually complete the purchase. 3 key reasons for that. They've either been caught by the boss shopping online during working hours, they've either had their internet lost, they may have been with TalkTalk for instance, or they may have decided to do some comparison shopping. So they're going to you and others and then compare what that shopping basket price is going to be like. There are tools in place on good e-commerce systems that will collect that information, and if you've got the minimum of just their email address, you can send out a trigger email to them an hour or a day after the event and say, we noticed that you went away without finishing the purchase. Did something go wrong? How can we help? By the way, if you click on this button, you can recover your shopping basket and carry on doing the purchase. Our records show that with the customers that we've got that take up that option, they recover 10% of those abandoned baskets. So if you're not doing that, you're waving goodbye to 10% or up to 10% of your turnover.
I'm just going to run through what defines search engine optimization and what defines pay-per-click advertising, why you should be using either of those to bring visitors and to bring customers into your website. This area down here on the left is very different because, as I said, it's search engine optimization. It encourages Google to put your results in that section of the page. You don't pay to go there. So actually, you can't negotiate with Google and say, I think our website's far better against this particular term than anybody else's. It really needs to go at the top. Google determines, using its algorithms and its very complex database calculations, which websites appear at the top. The essence of search engine optimization to try and influence Google is about 3 main things, really. One is the code of the website. Is it good quality code? Is it well written? Is it up to date? Does it enable Google to go in and actually read the content of the website effectively? Is everything labeled correctly? Do you have proper page titles at the top of everything? Are all the images properly labeled? Do the keywords that you want the website to appear against appear well within the the metadata that you put as search terms that you want the search engines to read in the back of the system? These are a lot of things that you'll usually pass over to a specialist, or maybe built in that you can influence through a content management system. The second area of interest from a search engine optimization point of view is the text content on your website. And I mean text content because the images might look great to a user, but actually the search engines can't read images. They can't look at a picture and determine what that picture means. They can only interpret words. And so you need to make sure that the words that you want your website to appear against in terms of keywords appear effectively, are well represented within especially your home page of the website. So if you've got a home page that's very plain and very simple and just got photographs on it, you need to ditch that and you need to make the photographs smaller and put some more text on there if you want the search engines to find you and position you through search engine optimization. And so you need to put some keyword sort of laden text on the home page of the site. The third main element that will influence your position with search engine optimization is links. The most important thing is that you have good quality links pointing into your website from other well-regarded websites by Google. So if you've got a relationship with perhaps a supplier or other websites that are related to your business, and you can have a link from them pointing to you, the better ranked their website is in terms of search engine performance, the better that will help. It'll confer a bit of value to your website because what Google likes to see is people pointing into you. Sometimes it's said that outward pointing links aren't very good for websites, and often they're not. But actually, if you can point out to good quality reference sites with good quality information about the products that you're selling, sometimes that can work in your favor as well. So good quality links are the third element in terms of search engine optimization. We've got a whole load of techniques in terms of marketing. You introduce those into your channel of multi-channel retailing, and you have a successful retail business.